What's up, everybody? You know what it is. Another episode of X on the Beach. We are at season 8. Jasmine finally gets an X. Hello. Alicia and Corey have a little moment, and Black Adam shows up with a messed up hairline. Let's go. Let's get it.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hey.
That last throw, though, man.
You know, that's how I feel right now. That's how I feel right now. That's how I feel right now.
You better get it, leading man. You better get it.
Right?
You feel like you in a Havana right now?
I mean, you know, a little bit.
We have somebody who's in a Havana.
A little bit. I know. I
You guys have no
know. So we picked this song, ladies and gentlemen, because one of our illustrious guests, who I'm going to introduce in a moment, is like the leading man in this video. Yeah. So we have royalty in the building.
Yes, we do.
This is crazy. But you know how we do. This is how we do. Because, like I said before, season 8. Totally messed that up. But, you know, it's all good. I recovered at the end.
Yes.
It's your boy, Lem Gonsalves. You know what it is. And I got my goons with me. You know, we missing Sensei, but she'll be back next week. But, of course, we got Melody Rose in the building.
What up, what up, what up, everybody?
You know. And my boy, my A1 since day one, Mr. Nino Llanera.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? I'm ready. Stop up time.
Yeah. I gotta get on that.
No,
I gotta get on that.
That's
yeah.
why y'all jittery
Uptime.
after.
It's at Nino Llanera.
Yeah,
Let's
I need to see what's up. So, you know, it's guest time. It's guest time. Ladies and gentlemen, I gave a preface of this young man, and he's here in the building, in the flesh with us. First time on the show, first time on X on the Beach. You know what it is. Marco's in the building.
Hello.
Thank you for coming.
You know, you got the jacket and everything.
Yes.
I tried.
Came swagged out. I see you.
Swaggy.
I see you.
What can I say?
You know, also, ladies and gentlemen, she is one of the OGs in the house. I've been waiting. I'm like, man, when can we get this girl in here?
Right.
She keeps telling me next week. Finally, she's like, all right, I'm coming. But, you know, she's in the building. Jasmine is with us.
Hey.
What up, Jasmine? And this is actually the first time that we've had an OG and their ex at the same time.
Shut your butt. No way.
Yes,
Same time.
Cheers on that. Yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah.
And we've been waiting for your ex.
I know.
We're like, y'all just
Everybody wants
to the beach.
They kept teasing. Right. I feel like you got to flag like every episode you were down there. You're like,
Yeah, I feel like you got
Go
the
back.
best ex though. Like
Right?
you guys are on good terms, and he's funny.
They needed that energy in the house.
Yeah.
Right,
It was so
right.
like negative. Like it was bad.
This was good. I felt
bad.
the good vibes. I
Yeah,
loved it.
he's
I
so
loved
much
it.
fun.
Quick question before we kind of do the overview. Were you crushing on anyone prior to Marco showing up?
Well, me and Derek had a little thing going
Thingy
on,
thing.
but you know that ended because he just wasn't over Angela, and I just wasn't getting involved in that. You see why?
Right.
And that was really it. I mean, Cameron, we had a little conversations here and there, but just flirty fun stuff because he gave me a crush one episode.
He did,
The
he
night
did.
where they had the power.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So it was cute, fun, but nothing serious.
Word.
I was just
Okay.
like,
Just checking. So how do we feel about this episode?
This was cool. It was more, you know what? I expected more from the Alicia and Corey's hair
situation.
getting pulled situation.
Oh, yeah, they kinda played
but that
us.
turned the whole different direction and made me laugh.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
which was cool because I'm like, she had to get kicked out if she was about to put hands on him like that.
Right.
But it was a whole different thing. But I felt like this was more of a light-hearted type of episode. There were some wrenches thrown.
Sure.
You know what I mean? With
Absolutely.
The new guy.
Yeah.
Adam.
Yeah.
that came in, you know what I
Adam
mean?
came in.
You know, so
yeah.
yeah, a
Yeah.
little different,
Okay.
different. I'm okay with it. It was cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I like the new guy. He's funny.
Yeah.
Well, if he didn't talk, but
yeah.
no, he's funny. It's just
Yeah.
once they said lisp, I couldn't.
Yeah.
That's all you think about.
He had a heavy
He's
lift.
funny. He's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
See?
My
We
mom
love
would've-
Charles. Shout out to Charles. though.
Yeah, I like
Shout
him.
out to Charles.
He's good.
Shout out to
love
Charles and that messed up hairline. I just okay. This is okay. Look.
Maybe it's
I'm
a
not
style
trying.
for where
Let
he's
me tell you
from.
something. My thing is, I would have let it go. I would have let it go if June didn't show up first.
I'm done.
Do you see what
Oh
I'm
my
saying?
God, yes.
And I'm like, MTV, y'all gonna have the brothers on the show with the messed up hairlines. Like, come on, like make them cut it all the way. You could have had me. I have no hair. It look better, or make them shave it. But why you gotta have the edge up way
That
up
is
here?
true.
LeBron
There
was
were
nice.
two black guys. Well, besides Derek, yeah.
I mean, yeah, exactly. I'm like, come
LeBron
on.
was having
MTV.
a bad night last night.
I mean,
they're
Kevin
trying to-
Durant's
they're
hair
keeping-
was
they're
having
keeping
his
the pattern
situation
going.
too.
They're
It's
keeping the
okay.
pattern going.
I guess so, but I'm like, yo, at least he did have an edge up though.
He did.
He did have an edge up.
It was clean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could have been the humidity. Who knows?
Yeah, no, not at all. I don't care. I just get the hairlines
But
together.
they're both
MTV.
nice guys,
That's all I
right?
gotta say.
Exactly.
All right, so let's get on it because the first thing we see is Jasmine is out there, just waiting,
waiting,
and then finally Marco thrust out of the water.
Hey.
And he's like,
thrust out
"What's
the water."
up?"
Yeah.
He shows up and he's like, "I'm here." So Jasmine, like, were you like super excited?
I mean, yeah, I was so excited because I just needed a friend, and I know how funny he was, and it was going to be a great like vibe for the house. So it's just nice like having that fresh energy
Right.
there because I was so over being in that house, listening to everyone fight, listening to Angela bark all the time. Like it was just like over it. So it was nice.
Okay.
I was happy.
Marco, how did you feel? Obviously you got this call about being on the show. You're going on as Jasmine X. Were you like excited? Were you a little nervous? What was the sentiment?
Yeah, Jasmine and I's like breakup wasn't bad, so I wasn't really nervous or anything like that. I was like,
What happened? What'd you do, Marco?
I didn't do anything. It was more like.
She said he was kind of a fuckboy, right?
He just,
But I'm
he's just a
not.
funny
That's
guy,
the
you know.
Messy Jasmine.
No,
Comes
that's the thing. She gets,
He's a good time though.
she gets confused.
She gets confused.
we gets confused.
We'd be out.
misunderstood.
and,
Girls like love him.
Obviously,
So,
girls are gonna come up to me and say hi.
Obviously.
So you're really
No, just because
friendly.
I'm very friendly and hilarious.
right. I love it.
Okay, I see.
Pats
Okay.
all day.
that just
So,
Yeah.
Like
That's
for
a
me.
little annoying.
Not for me.
she would get the wrong idea about what was happening.
Okay.
And I couldn't
guess.
really take that, not jealousy, but insecurity anymore.
Let me see that face. Let me see that face because you
I
made
mean,
that
like,
face.
yes, but like for a woman, you
I
don't
know.
want.
Nobody
like,
wants
a
Mr.
guy,
Friendly, like-
yeah. So it was like it just wasn't for me, but just cool. We're still friends. Like
Yeah.
it's not bad. It's just
Okay.
Yeah.
Just misunderstanding.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Was there a hope for a rekindle,
gotta
type
watch
of
and see.
situation?
Yeah.
Actually, I don't want to tell what
I
happens.
mean,
but
a rekindle in
We had
which
fun.
way?
Or just
we had some fun.
Oh, yeah.
We had some fun.
We'll show, I mean, I don't know if they're gonna show. We'll see what happens. I don't know what they're
Well,
gonna
when
show.
you
but you'll
from
see.
this episode, we want to talk about
Yeah.
this episode.
Okay.
You guys do come in the house. You do seem immediately like you're like everything's
I was-
cool,
yeah, I was
no bad
excited.
blood. Exactly.
Very excited to see her. And yeah, it was a great.
Yeah, we had fun. Like the first 2 days he was there, it was a lot of fun.
What,
Just,
what
like,
about the next?
We'll see. I mean, yeah, it got better, and then
Girl, don't blame me.
Marco, it's hilarious.
can't
So it was a
You
good
can't
time.
take it seriously.
It was a good time. We good.
Word. He was asking about the brunettes though
He
in the
was.
house.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
I knew he was gonna.
And I
I already
said,
knew he was
quote,
gonna
I'm
love
kidding.
that.
I'm kidding.
But were you
I
kidding
knew
or were you
he was
kidding?
gonna love Shanley. She's gorgeous,
Right.
you know,
Right.
beautiful. And I think Shanley was the only one that wasn't taken. So I think, right? Was she the
Yeah.
one taken? He already knew Faith from
Right.
out here. So I was like, oh, Shanley, you're gonna love her. Like I already knew that.
Yeah.
You didn't know. I mean, now Shanley lives here, so you didn't. I never met Shanley before.
I never met Shanley before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And so, what? How did you feel about Shanley? Because you seem
I
like it
first-
seemed like you being like beelined right to her.
Oh, when I first saw her, obviously she's gorgeous. And I don't know. I take what I look at. What can I
Take
say?
what
You sound like what I look at.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
That's the thing. He
killing
gets
it.
around a lot. You're gonna, oh, are you kidding?
Yeah.
Okay, you
It's
are.
Kidding.
He's kidding, guys.
Jason kidding.
Okay, word. So you like Shanley?
Yeah, I liked her. I liked her. She was like dope. Her tattoos were sexy and stuff. And then I realized her and Cameron
Yeah.
were like getting it nasty. So.
Right. I mean, that's her ex.
Was that,
So yeah,
was
I
that
don't
tea?
wanna-
yeah.
Did
It was a little tea.
It's a little
did-
sip.
Just a little
Is that a
sip.
little green tea
I think
or
that's too
chamomile?
early. Maybe next episode. I think.
Yeah.
See? Shanley, you didn't tell us everything when you were here. Huh?
Right, she
Saying
did
it.
kind of
Oh my
omit that.
God.
Well, I don't know.
No.
She didn't. She
Y'all
didn't.
see, y'all
No,
see.
she didn't. She didn't say
we're
that.
not
She didn't
spoiling
dive in.
anything.
Yeah. Okay. I want to get into this Mean Girls portion because we did see a segment where we saw Angela, Taylor, and Vic, and the person they were focusing on this particular time was Jasmine, and it had something to do about some same dress that you had on, and I didn't understand why they would go in about that because I'm like, you guys are already in the house.
Nothing else to
Is
do.
that okay?
Which I don't blame them. The house is you're bored. You know, there's nothing else to do. But
Sure.
Crap, I get it. But anybody that does reality TV knows there's things called pickups. If you know what that is,
Continuity, right?
It's a pickup interview. So yeah, I had the same top on to do an interview, and even if I did,
Yeah,
we have
even
washing
if you
machines.
didn't.
We have like it you know, it blows my mind that they even would say like, oh my god, I have the same outfit on when everybody wears the same clothes, recycle the same outfits. It's what you do. You're there
What
for
are
a
they?
month.
What are they? The clothes police? Like, come on.
But I'm not surprised. So when it's hearing them say that, I was like, okay, not surprised at all. Like,
No, it
for
didn't
blowing
even
up my
bother
phone,
you,
I'm
yeah.
like, I expect nothing less from them. Like, I knew they were going to do that. So
Word.
There we go. She was prepared.
Yeah,
She
that's what it is.
was cool with it. It's not like you were going out to go shopping every day because you can't.
you have
right?
no idea what we did in this house.
You know what I
Sit
mean?
around, eat, drink, like,
I kind of know what y'all did in the house, but
I did other things.
Well, I mean,
God, I can't
those of us that watch reality shows,
Yeah.
you know, when
Yeah.
you're in a situation where you're all living together in a house, I mean, whether it's Real World, The Challenge, Big Brother, I mean,
Yeah.
name it. Like, there's always going to be tons and tons of downtime. You don't get TV, you don't get internet, like sometimes in most cases. So you don't have any access to the outside world. So
Yeah.
you have to, you know, do things to keep yourself occupied.
course.
And maybe
So-
it just really bothers them that, you know, someone would wear the same clothes when they don't even like to sleep with the same guy. Over
Exactly.
And over.
You know, that's another thing. I'm like, you calling me dirty?
Some girls are like
I just
that.
want to say, I had one ex show up. That's
Yeah.
all I can say. I'm just saying that.
Ooh.
And
that
there's
came out
other things.
Messy
that-
Melody
What did
is
Alicia
already
say last
starting.
week?
Put that in.
Yeah.
What did Alicia
Just
say
like I
last
did.
Oh, Alicia said a lot last
Alicia,
week.
yeah,
What
she-
did
wrong.
she say last week?
Exactly. So, I mean, at the end of the day, like,
It is what it is.
It
I
is
would
what
wear
it
the same
is.
thing over and over. Just, hey,
but
Yeah.
but we
What's
all
up?
did. So, like,
Yeah,
that's what
Chris
it's like,
wore
did-
things over and over all
Well,
the time.
Chris is a different level. I love Chris, but he wore like, the same damn scarf every day. That was a little,
And it wasn't his.
my scarf. But I love
It was
Chris.
your scarf?
Oh,
Yes.
wow.
So he funked up your scarf.
My scarf and my jacket. That
He still wears it.
But like, it's cool. Like, if you want to wear it every day, go
He
ahead.
said he still
Maybe he
wears
washed
it.
it. We have washer and dryers. Like,
Oh wait,
we
can
might
we,
have.
can we talk
I
about
don't know.
can we talk about Chris giving June advice?
oh my
Oh
God.
gosh, yeah. What was that about? Because I'm like, Chris is like the
I know,
last
listen.
person
He's
that should be
worried,
giving
about
anybody.
every week coming a new ex, and then
Yeah.
freaking telling June advice. Who do you think
He said,
you
That's
are?
what did he say?
What did he
brother,
say?
Brother, you really need to.
You need to
Get-
put some more
get
effort.
effort.
Put more
Put
effort.
more
That's
effort.
right. That's right.
You
That's
need to
right.
put some more
Yeah.
effort into your freaking
Learning people's names,
shower.
Right.
first of all.
Hello.
I get why they
Hello?
put that in there though. One, it was funny, and it was two. He probably needed to because Faith was kind of having this
Yeah.
Yeah.
epiphany
she
of
was
like, am I
upset.
being friend zone right now or am
Right.
I not?
So
But
it
it was
made
just
sense
funny to
with
get
the
it from
story.
him.
That's just
Exactly.
June's personality.
Yeah.
June is like the nicest guy, and he
Yeah.
never
Laid back,
try
right?
to persuade any girl into anything, and like that's why I really respect about him.
Huh. So we did see the Shack of Secrets.
The sack.
I
still
know. I
can't-
kept calling it that too.
I
for, like,
still can't
days.
get this thing
Number
name
six.
right.
Which season are we on?
Apparently 8.
Oh, they firing shots at the boy. Okay, that's cool. That's
Shack of
cool.
Secrets.
Bing, bing, bing,
Shack
bing,
of
bing.
Secrets.
Shack of. I'm gonna practice that. It's like it's already season 8. I
got-
should be able to have it by now.
We got 2 more episodes left.
Right. Shack of Secrets.
There we go. You sound like Derek trying to.
Right.
What was this? Biblical.
Stop. Biblical proportions.
Yeah, proportions. So it comes up and it's Jasmine's turn.
Of course.
So she goes down there by herself. Marco's left up there. What was your take on that?
I
Like,
don't know.
really?
I just
would've
hours
just got
later
there.
after I got into the house, she goes down the Shack of Secrets, and I've heard about this Shack of Secrets, and what can I expect besides anything bad, you know? Yeah. So, yeah, I wasn't looking forward to the outcome.
So you were a little worried, to say the
I was
least.
very worried.
Okay.
It was like the producer said, you know what? This is going to be Jasmine's episode.
Literally,
Yeah.
that's what I
And
said. I
we're
was
just
like, my
gonna
time
be-
has come.
Exactly.
Bring it on.
We're just
I'm ready.
waiting, just saving up
Like,
all for
here
you.
it comes.
Season 8, all about
Season
Jasmine.
8, it's fine.
So you go down there, and my favorite part of the entire episode is when everybody started shouting and praising the Lord because of the biblical proportion. First of all, they thought like your name was going to be Moses
Yeah.
or something mighty.
So you
But,
have actually Moses?
Yeah.
No, I don't. They were
Okay,
just they were
just
trying to
checking.
figure out, and I was like, well, did
Like,
I
what's
hook up with
going on?
somebody
Yeah.
like Adam? Like, do I know
Right.
anyone?
Right.
No. totally not.
Yeah, no, but yeah, when y'all started giving him praise, that was
so
hilarious. Had church
man.
Faith,
in the
yeah.
living room. Hallelujah. Faith leading the
She's
choir.
so
Yes,
funny.
hilarious. So you go down there, and the biblical proportion was.
You said that so well.
Yeah, you know, I'm getting better.
Like
so well.
As we go along, I just get better during the whole show. Brother named Charles was down there with no shirt.
And a leaf.
And a leaf.
Right.
No pants.
No
Laying
pants.
down.
Yeah.
Naked.
Laying down, like all greased up, waiting for you. And you go down there. And I just need to know. I think everybody wants to know. I'm sure the people in the live chat want to know. What was your first thought when you see the strange, oily man with the dreads that start back here?
Stop it!
When you saw him,
Stop it, Ryan.
I was so confused. I was like, what the hell is this? And I was thinking, like, do I know him? I really had to, like, look at him like, is this an ex of mine? Like,
Yeah.
really? No, didn't know him. I was just confused. I was like, why are you naked? Why are you laying there butt ass naked?
Right.
I looked at the producers like, is this real?
What's going on?
She approached with caution.
I really
She was
was
like,
like,
Proceed with caution.
Proceed with
Objects
caution.
in the mirror.
It makes you closer than they appear. At some point in time, you looked like you did smile. I don't know if they put that in there or was that a real
I was
smile?
it was like a nervous, laughing kind of. So I was like, this is
She was
awkward.
smiling.
Okay, great.
I
Like,
know her.
try to go with it. Be nice. Like, get
Right.
to know the guy. I don't know who he is.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just trying.
I mean,
Like, this is great.
it was great.
I
Like,
don't know what
she
to
sat
feel
in the
right
corner
now.
of the couch,
I know,
and
I
he was
did.
like in the background, and she was in the foreground,
Right.
reading what she had to read, and he was just there, just chilling.
just chilling.
He didn't say anything at first. He was just like, hello.
Yeah,
he
that
just said,
was
he was
weird.
like, hello. And I was like, hi.
What are you doing here?
So did you hear the list down there, or was it up,
Yes,
up
and I was
there?
thinking at first, I'm like, oh, he's not that bad looking. I mean, and then he started talking, love you, Charles. But I was just like, okay.
Yeah. Stop.
Not for me. I just knew right
Just-
back.
just not you.
for me. I knew it.
So then, when you found out that you got this power move, all of a
I
sudden,
loved it.
I'm sure you loved it because you did seem like you were really excited. But you obviously decided, spoiler alert if you didn't watch the episode, you kept him and eliminated Luis, or Luis was eliminated. Why did you keep him because you wanted to get to know him better, or was it just a move to get Luis out?
Well, I thought of Louis and Charles as who would I like go for. Like,
Okay.
and I thought I would probably have a better chance going after Charles thanLouis. So I was like, maybe give him a chance. And if not just me, somebody else upstairs.
Marco's
That's
still
what
in
I
the
was
house, so you're not
Oh,
going
yeah,
for
I
him?
forgot about you. No.
Oh,
Damn.
you gotta
No.
forget about the
I was
Havana
just
man?
thinking, like, okay, maybe for him, but then other people in the house, maybe Fade or whoever wanted to, go after Charles. It's an option.
Okay.
And Louis, poor Louis, he just sat. He didn't do anything. He was just there.
He's a
like,
nice guy that
I
didn't
didn't
need
say
to
he's a
be
waste
there.
of- yeah, he was
Yeah.
great, and it was just like you're a waste, like not a waste of space, but kind
Right.
of.
Because it's not going to benefit you at all.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
weren't for him.
There was no point for him to be there.
So why are you there?
No, and it was probably a good thing, or almost like a favor for you to have let him go, because if he was still going to try to get with Victoria after all
Exactly.
that, you know
He's
what I
sitting
mean?
there watching Victoria hook up with Chase.
No.
And like, I remember one day he was at the pool just sitting there by himself, and I was like, why is he still
Save
there?
face.
Like, gotta go.
There you go.
Right.
You
So
did him a favor.
Yeah, there you go.
so-
Yeah.
Okay, I feel it.
Sorry,
You blessed
love
him
you, love you.
out the door.
Blessed.
Gotcha.
But I wish I could
Biblical
sit home
proportions.
people.
So he gets the boot, and we see this situation with Alicia and Corey. Get ready to go down. So obviously, Corey and Taylor have been going hard all throughout the house. Always together. Every time the camera shows up, they are, basically together.
I'm just being Alicia right now.
You trying to fight somebody?
What happened?
I'm just being Alicia right now.
Right. And so Alicia's there, and she had left already, got eliminated, came back. And now she's getting super, super irritated by the situation. I want to divert to you all because you were in the house. Were they together as much as what they showed us in the show? Because it seemed like they were together 24/7.
Alicia and Taylor.
No,
Taylor and Corey.
Thank you. Yes.
Taylor and Corey. I mean, they didn't leave
The
their
bed.
room.
They stayed in the bed the whole time. Like,
I'd be pissed if I was a guy in Alicia's position.
yeah.
Like if like the roles were switched.
Yes.
Corey would have been knocked out.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
If I can do it or not, I would attempt it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't blame Alicia for
hard.
how she
it's-
felt in any situation.
Right, and it's tougher because she had mentioned like she wasn't over it. She wanted to figure it out. They had a whole conversation about it, and
Right.
this is why I had asked earlier when we were off camera. I was like, did she understand like how deep Corey seemed to really wanted to be with Taylor, because she was still trying in a sense, trying to figure it out, trying to figure out what happened to them,
Yeah.
you know, or was she blind to it and didn't realize it? Because that'll just eat you up inside if you keep on seeing somebody over and over again. Like we said, they're stuck in this house together. She can't run away from the situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
Right.
I think Corey, like, he would, you know, kind of like check on her and like do little things. I think that was messing with her head. You know, I remember one night she was
Just like in
sleeping,
the-
and I
just-
swear he came downstairs, was just standing there looking over
To check on.
and like Alicia.
See?
And
Yeah.
I was just like confused, like, what the hell are you doing down here? And then he went upstairs, like,
Just like in the bathroom.
she's
when,
good. Like,
when
what
he
are you
said,
doing?
"Come
Maybe he's
here,"
just trying to
when he
keep her
said-
there.
yeah,
what I
it was like
mean?
weird, like messing
Arm's
with her
length.
They want that.
Right.
it's
So
a
she's
power- it's
never
a power
fully
trip.
gone. Yeah.
That's the hard part. Have your cake and eat it too.
Guys do that.
That's tough, you know?
Guilty as charged.
It's like me all day. My thing that I had the issue with the most, probably of the entire episodes, was Corey calling her weak.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was
You don't
messed
do
up
that.
because he knows the situation that she's in. And for her to, you know, keep her cool as much as she could and not go in on Taylor up to this point that we've seen and kind of respect that whole situation, but still, you know, reeling over their situation, for him to call her weak was just a low blow.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's, to me, what set her off and why she did what she did by grabbing his hair and...
Yeah, because
and-
she's like, I've been through you. She's been with him through so much stuff, like way before this. The
Yeah.
fact that he's saying that, she's like, how dare you disrespect
It
me
was
like that?
unneeded.
It was
Why do you need to do
unnecessary.
that? What are
Right.
you
The cameras
gaining?
were there.
What are you gaining out of that?
There you
He said-
go.
He was like,
That
I know
camera
I
time.
may be drunk and all, but you
Right.
know,
Yeah, like,
Don't
he-
use.
you don't wanna use that.
Frickin',
and then say how much I care about
Roseanne.
you.
Yeah.
You blame it on the Ambien. Don't blame it on the alcohol.
Yeah.
Right.
You're not Jamie Foxx.
I can't with Marco. I can't.
Oh,
I can't. I do like the fact that, and you know, whether this was sincere or not, but it seemed like they had the moment in the bathroom,
'cause he
Alicia
does
and
care
Corey,
about her. I
right?
know that.
And he was trying to, you know, calm her down and just say, look, I do have love for you, this, that, and the other. And I think, you know, whether he meant it or not, I think it was good for her. I think it settled her and it made her feel better about the situation. Of course, Taylor's like going crazy and starts crying at some point and what's going
Because she
on and
doesn't
all
get
this
it.
kind of
She
stuff.
didn't get
Right.
it.
She doesn't
didn't
get it.
yeah.
She finally knows how freaking
Corey
Alicia feels the whole
yeah,
damn time.
exactly.
Exactly,
How Corey
exactly.
feels.
Because the whole thing is they like linked up right when they got there. So it's like, how do you, someone that was in a relationship for a number of time, and then you're just having this situation in the house,
Right.
and then expect them to not be
How
affected?
long are they in the house at this point?
Corey and
three weeks,
Taylor,
3.5
it was
weeks?
almost close to the
Almost-
fourth week.
Close to the
fourth,
Yeah,
yeah.
close to the
So
fourth
you got
week,
a
'cause you were
month
there for a whole week. Yeah.
Versus,
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
it's a whole.
I think that's why it's hard
days.
for Alicia to accept
Yeah.
them
Exactly.
as a relationship.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I think that's a good segue into news and gossip. Anthony, play our news and gossip music, please, sir.
AfterBuzz TV News.
All right, so I'm gonna turn it over to Messy Melody, and she's gonna drop some tea as she does.
Yes,
You know, you guys, I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. So last week we had Alicia on the show, and she spilled so much tea. I'm never gonna top that. Thank you, girl. But a couple days later, we had Taylor, Little Miss Taylor, go on her live, and
Next day.
Was it the
it
next
was
day?
the
next day.
It's pretty quick,
Next
yeah.
day. That feels okay.
Huh.
Well, she went on her live and was crying. I use that word very loosely. She was crying and apologizing and saying that it was a really long time ago, which I don't feel was.
2013, 14.
15.
It was a long
15?
time ago.
Oh, I'm not
Obama
counting.
was president.
but-
Okay, keep going.
Okay, but then I was sent some more tweets, and apparently she also said some homophobic things too.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't
So
hear.
she just keeps. She didn't apologize for those though, so maybe because we didn't bring it up.
That's dirty.
I don't know. But then Corey went ahead and did a live as well and had some things to say about Alicia and was just pretty much dogging her out and then said something, and I'm paraphrasing, I bet AfterBuzz didn't even pay you to go on there with your dumb ass.
What?
Why?
I can't.
So I'm just gonna leave it there and throw it on over to Lem because
Yeah.
we have some things to say about that.
Yeah, we have a lot.
Let's do this, Lem.
I actually have a special segment. If we can make the transition music, because this is going to get serious. Before I start this special segment, I want to piggyback off what she said about Corey, because she made an issue about her being on the show, you know, like she said. And Corey was actually on AfterBuzz TV when he was on Real World.
Did he get paid?
And he did not get paid, and he was on here twice. So why would you try to bust her out when you did the same thing twice? Anyway, but that's neither here nor there. That's not what I really want to do. I do want to address, and this is for real serious. As she mentioned, some bombs were dropped regarding Taylor. Even before, when Faith was on the show, there were some bombs dropped about Vic.
Yes.
And then it started crazy in the Twitterverse. And so I just wanted to really address this, and I wrote it out because I wanted to be careful with my words, but I also wanted to, be serious about it. I mean, we have fun in the show, and it's a lighthearted show, but, these are serious topics that were brought
definitely.
up. So, anyway.
The poet was saying, everybody.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Lem.
All right. So, I want to address some of the events that's been surfacing as of the past couple of weeks. It's been noted that a few of the cast members on X on the Beach have made inappropriate and or racist remarks via tweets and other sources that have appeared on social media. On our after show last week, one of our guests shared some of those tweets about her fellow cast member, Taylor. We also had a guest via live stream, Lexi, who we interviewed, that also was known to have posted questionable tweets in the past. Some of the fans who watched the show said that we should have asked her about them directly while she was on the show. When I was asking her questions, I was trying to see if she would volunteer the information. She did not directly address it in our interview. Could I have asked her directly? Yes, I could have. The point is, she knew what she posted in the past. Same as Taylor. Same as Vic, who was shown on video singing the N-word as a song lyric. The day after our interview, Taylor went, as Melody mentioned, on Instagram Live and apologized for what she did when she was younger. Vic also apologized via Twitter for what she did as well. As a black man in this country, I've encountered racism more times than I can count, as have so many people of color that I know personally have also heard stories about. That being said, I don't condone anything that is associated or affiliated with that subject matter. I don't care if you're on TV show, working at Starbucks, a police officer, or president of the United States, racism is wrong. Do people make mistakes? Absolutely. Do we sometimes say things in our past that we wish we could take back once we know better? Most definitely. Anyone that we've had on our show as a guest, although I may know them personally, I don't know what's in their heart. I'm always going to think that it's in the right place unless you show me otherwise. My only prayer is that when a mistake is made and an apology is given regarding this particular topic, that it is truly sincere. That is all. Thank you.
That was good.
I'm gonna clap that up.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna put my drink down, but I'm gonna clap it up.
Okay. That was good.
was-
So when is your Nobel Peace Prize ceremony?
Respect.
I mean,
that was
word,
really good. I like that.
I think that was so well said, Lem, and I
Yes.
think that was so well put together because every time the subject comes up, we've got a little bit serious on the show because it is such a big issue and it's such a learning situation for a lot of people. Your past always comes up digitally. You know what I mean? And sometimes it shows some true colors. And, you might think it's when you were younger and it was a situation when you didn't know any better. And that's true. People can grow from it. But at one point you thought that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the best thing to do would to be own up to it.
Yep.
And, and let the world know. These apologies were great, even though, Melody might disagree about the Taylor video or whatnot.
I just didn't like it
Nonetheless,
because I watched the apology. One, she blocked me, which was really weird because I didn't have a problem with her. But and then watching it, it was like, she's like, well, I see other people have done it too. Stop blaming other people. This is you right now.
Yeah,
Right.
don't-
Focus
she's
on
trying
you.
to put
This
the
is this
blame on
apology.
other
I
people.
don't feel it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Like, you're dating a black guy, whatever. Like, I don't feel your apology. And then you go out to the club right after that, the next tweet. It's like, or the next slide
Video.
on Instagram.
Right.
It's like, I just don't feel that.
What it
personally.
comes
And I know
down
people
to,
make mistakes.
honestly, sometimes it is how you're raised.
Yeah,
Right.
Usually,
100%.
unfortunately.
Sure.
And they do grow into their own and realize that no, that's not the only way to think. However, own up to that and change the way you think
Right.
and admit that.
Yeah, that was not
That's
like,
it.
Absolutely.
I didn't believe it, but
And when it came up before, I remember, and Sensei was there and I was trying to explain, I understand that, people do this, and like you said, they were raised a certain way. But when you come into the light and you come out of that, and especially if you're an adult in this culture, in what's going on, you should know better at that point. And if it comes back to haunt you, then like you said, you have to deal with it and own up to what you did. Don't try to pass it off. Don't try to do any of that. Just own up to it and move on and just be a better person, really.
Well said, Lem.
Yeah. All right.
He's on fire.
I feel like
right
after
now.
the show, he's going to do something.
Get the extinguisher. Hey.
Go pick it.
I thought that was a spicy one.
Go ahead, Melanin Girl. Melanin Girl on our chat says,
What?
What's up? Thank you, Lem.
Okay,
we
with
got
the
a lot of
fist
people. Yeah, we got a lot of people on our chat. Shout out to you guys that are in here right
shout
now.
them
Let's see who's in here. Let me just run down the list. Chuck Williams. Baptistin Sirach. These
fitting.
names, though.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? Cassandra
pretty yours.
Murray. Our homie ZSB Lou is always in here as well, too. A lot of dope people in here just chatting it up with us. Thank you guys for letting us know what's up and what you guys think, because everyone's talked, when you talked about the hairline,
Right.
everyone talked about the hairline.
Dude.
When we started talking about everybody else,
Yeah.
it rolls on the chat. So if you guys want to continue the conversation, definitely talk in the chat.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys for being there.
So let's get into this elimination ceremony. As we know, Louis already got the boot via our friend Jasmine. And so now it's time to see who else is going to get cut. And so, I mean, they only show a portion. I know the elimination ceremony is long. Like, you're sitting there for a while.
Right.
And so they kind of have to condense it. And so when you're sitting there, do you guys, I mean, what are you thinking? Like, do you automatically think that you're on the chopping block if you're up, or do you, like, how did you feel, Jasmine?
I always felt safe just because I knew I wasn't going home.
Okay.
But I knew somebody was going to pop off. I was like, wondering, like, who's going to fight tonight? So I was
Okay.
like,
Who's going to fight tonight?
who's going to fight tonight? What's
Right.
going to happen? Like, make sure I'm, like, staying clear. No, I'm serious.
She was like, not me. Not me.
Yeah.
Looking this way. But yeah, it was good. I thought it was funny just being there because I knew somebody was going to argue, right? And,
But contrary to
but
that.
I mean, good for him, 'cause, you
Marco
know,
had a different
Yeah.
experience.
So-
Honestly, that first elimination ceremony, I didn't really feel nervous because if she wanted me to go, she would have picked me instead of Louis. You know? However, I didn't really know how other people in the house felt about my energy, because I'm a character. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I bring a lot of energy, and you either love me or you hate me, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't care what you think about me. So, but I felt confident in
I don't think I
myself
was
that-
even thinking about you getting cut, honestly,
No.
because you came into the house and it seemed like, I mean, MTV would have played it up if they thought you were, you know, an a-hole or whatever. But, you
Yeah.
know, you seemed fine, so I wasn't even thinking about you getting cut. I also didn't think the person who was going to get cut was going to go.
thought you were
Right.
Chase.
Yeah, and I want to
Chase,
find out
yeah.
about that because, you know, lo and behold, it was June that got cut,
Right.
and I did not see that. I mean, some of the people you see coming, and it's like because they've been involved in drama or because they have a lot of enemies or, you know, ulterior motives or whatever the case is. But I felt like aside from, you know, the relationship he had with Faith and maybe her not feeling some kind of way about his actions toward her, I don't see anybody else having a problem with him.
Yeah.
What did you think happened?
I mean, for me, I asked basically, do you want me to cut him? Because she told me she did, and I was like, I will if you want me
She
to.
did?
But then, she,
In the beginning.
beginning, she's like,
Yeah.
I want him cut. I was like, okay. Then we went back, and she was like, no, I don't want him cut. So I was like, fine. I'm like, I'm gonna crush Marco clearly because I was scared.
Thank
of
God you
Chase,
did.
because the Chase
Right.
probably
Yeah,
cut your
Chase.
ass. So I was like, I'm gonna, crush him, and so I thought June was safe. I didn't think everyone was gonna cut him because they kept telling Faith they weren't gonna cut him.
Yeah.
And
And
then,
the house is manipulated.
but you know
and
that
stuff
exactly.
Like
I
that.
don't-
Right.
The thing is, she was politicking for him, saying,
At
"No,
first.
I want him to be, you know, I want him to be here."
Right.
At the end, so she felt comfortable. Most people probably thought, you know, comfortable that he was going to be okay. I honestly don't know who I would have thought would have been cut this episode if it were just, you know what I mean? There.
Charles? Wait,
If it wasn't,
I
if it
thought
wasn't June,
Yeah, if it wasn't June, I don't know if there was like a person.
I thought it was going to be Charles.
I thought it was gonna be Charles.
It could have been Charles. I guess that would have been like the easiest way to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Because there's no ties to him, but I
Right.
can't like really think.
well, it's just interesting,
out.
like the reason why you would cut someone, like in this particular situation, and it seems like the people that get cut are just people that don't have ties.
Yeah.
Right.
It seems like mostly.
Yeah, it's true.
That take up room in the house.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Or if they just
Yeah.
don't like you. Your house.
Oh, well, that too.
Right.
I mean, there was one
That
time.
way.
I mean,
Or whoever Angela doesn't like.
Exactly.
yeah. Well, we see Derek. Like I remember, kind of the beginning, he kind of politicked to get Torai out. So that was kind of a manipulation moment. But aside from that, it's like it's kind of just anybody's. What did you say?
Sorry, it was so funny. Yes, I wanted him gone too, and I was just like,
You didn't like Tara? I love Tara.
I didn't know him. I didn't get to know him. I couldn't have a chance.
You
Like,
couldn't?
From the moment he was out, he was off limits. There was no chance to have talk with him, and I feel like I did even have a conversation with him.
He was the
You know what
nicest,
happened to
scariest
me,
dude
so-
ever.
The nicest,
I just
scariest.
didn't have a chance to
Right.
know him.
Who was the nicest, scariest
Yeah.
thing ever?
I mean, he's a big guy. He's a big guy. I mean,
guy.
He seems like he seems really nice, very sensitive. I was calling him sensitive. Him and Daddy Longlegs was having a conversation.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah,
it was
yeah.
like they were spitting poems
Cam?
to each other.
Yeah.
Is that Cam?
No,
Tyler.
no. We're talking about Tyler.
Yeah.
He's from season 7 of Are You the One? Yeah, and so he's a guest host. So he was on, and they were just like, I was like, these guys are so nice, like
Yeah.
you know, dabbing each other's sweat, like it was crazy.
That's brotherly love.
Right.
Yeah.
But so June gets cut, and then Faith is pissed off.
Yeah.
Why was she? I mean, obviously, I know she was unhappy with him, but why did it? You think it affected her so much?
Because she told everyone I want him to stay, and I think the people who cut him told her they weren't going to do that.
Oh,
I think it was Chris, Angela.
Do you think Chris cut?
I think it was Chris cut, Angela, and
Ah,
I think
But
Chris
Angela
cut-
said something about not cutting
No,
him because she
Angela
doesn't want to
cut
go
him.
through what she did.
she's just telling her like I know I went through the same thing.
But she did end up cutting him.
Yeah, she cut June. Pretty sure.
So
I could text-
Chris cut
text
June.
Faith.
That's not
Chris was one of the cuts, and Chris was the one who was like, June.
Chris was giving
yeah.
advice.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is Faith
Active.
peeped that because remember Chris goes over and tries to console her or
She's like,
something.
"Don't
She's
touch
like,
me."
"Don't
Just
touch
stop.
me."
Yeah.
So she already knew like what he was about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is kind of ironic because like you trying to
Yeah.
give him
You trying to help a homie
trying
out,
to
but
Dr.
then-
Phil him and then you kick him out.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So
she wanted
That's
to
not
stay. I
cool.
felt bad.
Everyone,
I think 'cause they just laughed in
besides
her
me and
face.
Jasmine, everyone in the house. No, I'm kidding.
You saw tea and chips. Literally, all the fighters
Right.
came out. We're like,
No, it was just you really couldn't. Because
That was funny.
Honestly, everyone's out for themselves,
Right,
you know. So
sure.
as I would, if I had the power and stuff, Jasmine, you were home.
So
funny.
that's what happens with this episode. But I'm so glad that Marco, you seem to really bring a light into the house.
Thank you.
Like that's
Yeah.
what it seemed like on television. Obviously, appear to be a really cool gentleman. When you say you either love me or hate me, I feel like that is Chris. Or maybe not. Maybe not. Or maybe not.
sorry, I should rephrase that. You don't either love or hate me. You love me.
can't.
Exactly. There we go.
Dude. Havana man, come on. Oh man. So before we close out, is there anything that you guys want to promote? Anything that you guys have going on? You got any more videos
Follow
coming
me
up?
on Instagram. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
that too.
Right now.
Yeah, I mean, I went to Vegas recently. It was pretty dope.
This dude is talking about trips. I'm talking about you.
Keep an eye out for him.
My birthday just passed. I just turned 23.
Marco, I'm done with you. When I was 12, I met the president.
When I was 12, I was around that teeter-totter.
Just keep watching the show. It's good.
Yeah, yeah,
Crazy
yeah.
Yeah,
next
it's a pretty
week.
cool
Follow
show,
you.
you know?
Next
It's
week's
very entertaining.
crazy.
Next week is, we see the moment Alicia mentioned about that, and it's in the previews about the spit situation,
It
Spitgate.
was so disgusting. I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
I
y'all.
can't wait
Spitgate.
for that. Spitgate.
I just
that back.
processed it right now.
Yeah, yeah, Spitgate.
Like you
yeah.
come running, you were like,
Yeah.
"She
Two
was
times
good."
I was
like,
most scared of my life.
Yeah.
One, when I was pulled over with a not valid license. Two, when Taylor spit on Alicia.
Oh wow,
we should turn to the ex.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
She
And the
was
thing is, she wasn't even like,
Polly was
Yeah.
talking about tropical
upstairs,
storm. No,
like-
that was
No,
hurricane,
that's
fucking level
hurricane.
5.
Yeah.
Don't get me on Polly. I can't with her right now.
Oh.
You can't with Polly?
No, he like
I
played
love Polly.
my friend
He's
Danielle. He's dating my friend
He's still
Danielle.
transitioning.
Oh, is he
Yeah.
still?
Oh, wait,
Bachelor
no.
Paradise.
Was he
Danielle
recently in an
Lombardi.
article? That was Paul.
Yes,
It was-
he was dating my
Lombardi?
friend, and he's an asshole.
Was that your friend in the article?
Oh,
Polly's a
Major
stud.
T.
He's a
Okay, he's a good
stud.
guy, I think,
love
but not
Paul. I have
for
a
relationships.
You're the
Like,
one.
Sorry.
Joe and I, Joe Sorgensen, and myself have a really big crush on Polly. I think for the next season of X on the Beach,
He's a horrible person.
we're gonna be like Taylor's exes, like to Polly. Like
Stop
Joe
it.
and I are.
Oh my gosh. I can't
On
with
season
this
2
dude.
on X on the Beach.
Right. Oh man, well that's dope. I'm super glad. Thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you
for having
us.
us, guys.
Thank you for having
Yeah,
us.
absolutely, absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been our amazing show. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you everyone that was in the live chat. Make
Yes.
sure you keep the conversation going. And when it's up on YouTube, comment under there. Let us know what you thought about the show. Let us know what you think about what's going on in the Twitterverse and all that stuff because it's a lot going on. You know how it is. I've been your host, Lem Gonsalves, and as always, you can find me at The Poet Saint. At The Poet Saint all day, every day. And you can check out my website, stayonthemic.com. Melody, where you at?
You guys can follow me everywhere at Melody_Rose.
Hey guys, it's your boy Nino. You can catch me at Nino Llanera on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Catch me on one of the new episodes of Animal Kingdom on TNT in a couple of weeks. That should be exciting. Okay,
Nothing.
I hope I didn't get cut, but just watch.
Shut
Okay,
up,
y'all,
I
just
didn't know
watch
that.
that.
Watch to make sure you didn't
Watch to
get
make sure I
cut.
didn't get cut.
Right. Marco,
yeah.
where can the fans find you, sir?
They can find me at Marco DelVecchio or local watering hole. Who knows?
Right.
can't.
That I believe
I
the
cannot.
second part.
Bye.
That I believe there's nothing left in the fridge. Jasmine, where can they find you?
Jasmine Goode with E_.
Hey, there it is. And next week, we got 2 more guests already scheduled, and it's gonna be
this
amazing.
guy.
Make sure you come and join us and check it out. 'Cause it's gonna be awesome. All right, peace.
Deuces, y'all.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.